Welcome everybody, Doug McKay with the M48 update on the 21st of April 2010. Let's start out with the chart of the day, and then we're going to look at some of these other stocks that have gapped down or sold off recently where we've moved our stop. In some cases profitable, in some cases not. We're going to go through some of those today. Let's start out with Yahoo. This is a daily chart of Yahoo, and it gapped lower today on the open. And we had our stop on Yahoo, glancing over at the table, at 1784. So it blew through that stop, and the open today was at 1745. But the point is we did move our stop above our entry. Our entry was down here at 1684. So we'll see what happens with Yahoo. As it is now, we're out of this trade, and the goal here again was to move the stop up above our entry. Let's take a look at a different scenario here. We were unable to get the stop above entry. This is the biotech holders, BBH, and we had our stop on BBH at 102.22. Yesterday the low was 102.38, so we were not filled, but we were filled today at the open at 175, ended up closing at 98.84. And again, this is one reason why we never have, unless it's one of the major indice ETFs, we never have more than 5 to 6% in any one position for this particular reason. Let's also take a look at BIIB, Biogen. Now this is one here, let me kind of, we bought it at 55.09. We bought it at 55.09, which is roughly in this area here, 55.09. And we were actually stopped out, bought it at 55.09, and we were stopped out at 57.60. So we stopped out in this area here, 57.60, when it broke support, it broke its trend line. And you can see where it's at today. So we were profitable on Biogen, but at the same time, if we would have held on to that, we would have lost basically 7% as opposed to being profitable. So again, once you break this trend line here, then you look for support. If it breaks that, it's time to cut it loose. And we don't even have to pull up MACD or stochastics. Once it broke the 50-day, you definitely wanted to be out there as well. Let's take a look at a couple other. Let's take a look at Qualcomm. I know Qualcomm is down in after hours. We basically have moved our stop. Not basically, we've moved our stop up above entry on this. Our entry was at 38.51 in this area here. We were looking for it to potentially fill some of this gap off to the left here on the chart. Once it started to do this basing pattern here, this indecision here, no commitment, we thought based on probabilities technically that the downside gap would be filled before the upside gap. So we'll see what happens tomorrow on the open. But our stop is above our entry on Qualcomm. And then some of the other ones are doing good. You know, obviously Home Depot's doing good. Let's take a look at gold. Again, this is kind of a tough, we need to get above this 113.60. I think if we break this area of support here, basically the low of this candle on the 16th, I think we're going to go lower and possibly break through, trade through 110. Let's finish up with the SPY. And again, the goal today was, you know, to show you how important it is to move stops to protect profit and or limit the loss. Because a lot of these, you know, the trend is your friend. A lot of these that have sold off continue to be sold off. Okay, let's take a look right now at the SPY. We can see that the trend line is still holding as of today's close. We went through it on Monday, but we closed at the high of that day, more or less, almost right at it on the tick. So that was a good signal. Whether or not this candle here meaning on the 15th is a high, we don't know. But let's just say this. If we get down around 118, let's say 1180, maybe 118 on the SPY, if we get down there again, we will take some profit, take some money off the table on the SPY, and also probably look to tighten up our stops on some of the other positions. All right, you guys, that's it. Doug McKay. As of the close, the trend is still long, but we are looking toppy. And as price moves, we're going to move up our stop along with it. This is Doug McKay with the M48. Have a great night on the 21st of April, 2010. Thanks.